Like Cody, he expressed this would be a mind-blowing experience. Yeah. Yeah. That's pretty cool, man. That's pretty cool.
We got off the call right around 12 o'clock, 12:30-ish, and I had a tea time at 3 for my body to start moving how it's wanted to for the first time in 7 years. It's just ridiculous. I mean, I can't believe it. Every wedge I hit today was within 15 feet, and I've fought to accomplish that for 5-6 years at this point.
Let's go, dude.
Yeah.
Amazing. Let's fucking go.
Shot 7 under on the back 9.
Woo, boy.
Welcome to episode 6 of the Infinite Potential Podcast. Me and Nick went into today thinking we were going to be talking about PAP on this podcast. We're going to save that for next week because we had a call with one of our clients, Isaiah, who is one of the best golfers that I've ever come across. He used to play on the Korn Ferry Tour, and he's currently trying to work his way back. He took a 2-year hiatus, and we're going to talk about all of this on the podcast, so I don't have to introduce him that much. But during this call, the purpose was to go through his week of training. I have a half-an-hour call with him every single week, but we also have a problem with some rotation to the right side as he is a left-handed swinger, and we're trying to get to the bottom of it. We've given him some exercises over the past week that showed that it wasn't a lower back issue, and we quickly find out that it's something to do with his trap. I bring Nick onto the call to kind of consult with me, and then it turns into an incredible experience where we end up doing the guided healing technique, or Nick ends up doing the guided healing technique from 1,013 miles away and completely fixing his swing. And then, as you saw in kind of like the preview that we played right before this, he went in and played a round of golf, and the results were incredible and immediate. So we recorded the whole thing, and we just want to show you as much of it as possible. I can't wait for you to see it. Stay tuned, you beasts.
Let's go. Just like always, you've been crushing the workouts. How's the rotation and back feeling?
I was going to write some notes in there today. With the 90s, I saw there's a move you can do for rotation where you interlock your fingers behind your head, you give yourself a little twist, and then you try to rotate down towards your knee, like touch your knee with the elbow.
Yeah.
So I was trying to do that, and just immediate flare-ups on either side and a lot of tension up through the shoulder blades, and then even just specifically on the right side as I'm doing tricep push downs with the rope or the reverse push down.
Okay.
I felt like my right shoulder blade is it's winging out, and then I'm starting to feel pain in what would be like the rhomboid area. So I'm not going super heavy with the weight or anything. It just, I don't even know if pain's the right way to describe it. It was just some discomfort that wasn't there.
Super tight. Yeah, there's an imbalance somewhere up and down your trap, is what it sounds like. The flare-ups, is that in your lower back, like kind of like obliques or erectors, like middle, like right, the two big ass muscles on the outside of your spine, or is it more on your side?
I venture to say it's probably closer to my back than anything. It's not like right here perfectly on the side, but if I move just slightly around the corner, it's all right up and down there. So I guess it would be erectors. And then while I'm doing the incline biceps, right? So I'm sitting there, I'm leaning back, and then I'm looking in the mirror to check form, and I notice my right shoulder sits up like this.
Okay. Have you been doing like the shoulder, chest, and
the suplex? Yeah.
Okay, so that's all going through.
I try to do that like every day, but there's a significant amount of tightness when I try to get this to go up and under. It doesn't move up in the same way that my left side will. I mean, it will eventually, but I've got to really stand there and let it work in order to get my arm up in between the shoulder blades.
All right.
So.
Got it. So with this, we're gonna try to get Nick on here. Nick's hopping on to help us do this too. There's a couple things that we can do or like band movements that have rotation in it. How's that lower back stretch doing where you're dropping to the side? What's the rotation look like there? Are you able to have your shoulder and your knee on the ground yet?
Mm, it's close. I'm doing more of the I don't know, we call the one where you wrap the band around the arm and then you sit back into it. It's more of like a trap stretch, I
The lat,
guess.
the lat.
The lat stretch. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm doing that one a lot more. The
I'm talking about,
TRX.
yeah, I'm talking about that torso rotation,
Yeah.
where you're just laying on the ground.
Yeah.
You're doing that with the lat stretch.
You mean the torso rotation where I'm like rolling my legs over to one side or the other?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that one I can keep both arms like that and then roll the hips over. So
Okay.
it's not a for me, it's not an issue so much in the hips. It's
Yeah,
all like it's
yeah.
shoulders and back.
It should be lower back too.
Hmm.
Because that's where I get flare ups where you're talking about when I'm doing that stretch until I get it completely taken care of.
Hmm.
Um,
Look at that guy.
What is
Wow.
up?
How's it going?
Fucking amazing. How are you?
I'd say about the same.
That's what I
I'd
fucking
say
love to
about the
hear.
same.
Hell yeah.
all right. So I wanted to
Right.
bring you on early before we do the mindset stuff. We're working through rotational issues. And Isaiah, do you want to talk through exactly like where you're feeling the imbalance too? Because Nick's real smart on the anatomy,
Mhm.
so we can
Yeah.
try.
So today I was trying to pay a little more attention to where I might be having some tightness or some discomfort. And with the weights, I haven't been going super heavy lately. It's all just been an emphasis on form, making sure I'm doing it right and getting the full range. But I noticed in my tricep push downs with a rope and then the tricep pull down, which is the reverse grip, I was feeling some pain and discomfort up through my right shoulder, right around where the rhomboid would be, and then slightly up higher.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I had that going on, and then I went to bicep curls, and I'm sitting there, the incline bicep curls, and I noticed my shoulders sitting like this. So I've got freedom of movement here in the left arm, like I can lay that thing across my shoulder. But if I try to do the same on the right side, it just doesn't
Side
work
note,
for me.
he's a lefty. So he's
Yeah.
swinging through on the right side. So that's what's causing this imbalance. We're trying to figure out ways to go through it. We started with just foam rolling and then a lower back stretch where you drop your knee across and you're trying to get your knee on the ground while you keep your right hand on the ground while it's all the way up. So that's where we started. He's able to do that without any discomfort. So it's not hips and like lower back. It seems to be a trap imbalance all the way from the top to the bottom that we're getting to. So a week of that has pointed that out. He does the lat, chest, shoulder, the suplex stretch 2-3 times a week right now.
Yeah.
And legs are crazy mobile, right? We've been going through that mobility routine for 8 weeks. So we're trying to figure out a way to kind of unlock that without us being there.
Do you have a tennis ball?
I got a lacrosse ball.
That's better. It's going to hurt more.
Yes and no. We'll get a tennis ball. The reason why we want to use a tennis ball is right now so that trap is just basically it's just overactive. It's just turned on to a much higher extent, which is the moment you said it went up like this, that's just all that it's doing this to protect that range of motion. Using a lacrosse ball would be great if there wasn't that kind of pain and discomfort, because the brain is feeling that pain and discomfort and it's keeping those muscles tight to protect it. My thought was using a tennis ball would be better to start, because what I would want you to do is laying on your back and putting 2 tennis balls, one here to start, and then the other one in the middle, and then just laying flat, focusing on deep breathing. And when you breathe in for anything chest and up for mobility or relaxation and release, try to fill your chest cavity with that breath. And then when you breathe out, just feel your whole body sinking straight down.
Yeah.
Right? And
So I've used that one before and I've laid back into it and worked all around that shoulder joint. And I can feel as I'm breathing deeper and kind of sinking into it, there's a release. And then, the edges of this want to slide underneath the shoulder blade, which is a little, I guess, kind of gruesome. So I don't know if that's along the same lines, but I did that for a while, but it's migrated from here up to that area, just like you were saying. So
Yeah.
more top of the trap.
When you were using that originally, was it a little bit further down so you could feel that?
Yeah, I started at the bottom of the shoulder blade and then worked up as high as I could get, but there's no way you can get up on the top with that thing without doing like a headstand or something.
Yeah. So this is great. This tells us that you released some of the tension in that lower portion, and that just means like everything is top down. So like when we go to release that tension, it's almost like wringing out a towel. You want to start at the top and push it down. So that tells us that one, that spot released, which is great, but how that pulls the shoulder back up higher and tighter just tells us that this part from more so here and then down here is really, really tight. So what we're going to do, I have an idea. We could actually take a towel and wrap it kind of around so it's not, you're not laying, like it's not so much off the ground when you're laying on it. That might help to be able to lay on that, and then put a towel, like fold it a couple times, put it on your head. This way you can just fully rest there. And then what we'll do is do that breathing again. And I can like I'll walk you through a whole. We'll do like an actual like a guided session where we can really help start to release that tension all the way up through the neck and in that trap and shoulder area. That will help to. We're going to turn off that muscle first. That's one of the things we're going to really focus on, because it's not necessarily, you don't need to activate it to correct it. In that sense, when if it's the activation and different mobility movements or stability exercises that you're doing isn't relieving it, it just means all it needs to do is to be turned off so that it can reset, so that everything that you're doing can now just sit back in. So what we'll do, what I did with one of our hockey girls when she was traveling with her neck and shoulder issue, I just had her literally laying in the hotel bed, eyes closed. We went through a guided focus on deep breath, and then we did few breaths, regular and neutral. Then allow your head to be this way. Every time, deep breath, when you breathe out, just feel your head sinking a little bit more. What that's going to help do is, one, it's going to allow the body to fall back into its normal patterns. And two, it'll help to reset the CNS activation there, and it'll allow it to start to release. We could definitely do that for sure. It'll be, we did that in about like 20 minutes the last time we did that. So we could try that, and that probably might be one of the easier ways we can get that to start releasing now without, with what you have and without me being able to be there to kind of guide your body back into some of those movements.
Yep. Another thing on top of that, the only successful way that I've figured out how to actually roll out my traps is I get into a squat rack. I set up the bar like you're going to do a squat. I'll load 225 pounds on it. I get on it in the side with like a towel around it, and I'll force up into it, and I'll roll it with my hands so it comes up and down softer. Not straight metal, like get a towel around it, but then you're able to like start all the way back here and come all the way down and kind of release that pressure all the way to your shoulder, and just keep running that. And then as comfortable as you can make it, right? I work through my head motions this way, just like Nick's talking about, to like try and get that to release a little bit, just with the pressure sitting still. So like I'll get like right here at the base of my neck, push up, apply pressure while I'm pulling down, breathe into it, let it sink, breathe into it, let it sink, rotate, come back, try and get a little bit deeper, rotate, come back, try and get a little bit deeper. And because you have that weight, like, and you're pulling down on it, you can't, the bar's not going to move. So it gives you a nice leverage to get up into it by like just coming up on your calves a little bit. That's how I used to do it. My traps used to lock up a ton, especially when I do long drive stuff. My traps are always like this afterwards, and I have to figure out a way to release. So getting into a squat rack's been the only way. Like you said, aside from doing a handstand and finding something that's tall enough to go on your neck, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's a really good way.
With what Alex was saying is, don't use this arm for you right now. use the opposite arm and just allow this one to just hang
Mhm.
while you're doing it for this. And that will help to really allow this side to relax while you're doing that.
Mhm.
I'll help you through some like guided breathing and some visualization to help you get into a more relaxed state to allow your body to get back to that original position. And there's a
Yeah.
couple other movements that we could do too, where with having that in those spots, honestly, having that with both on the same side or on both sides will allow you to be more neutral. If we can get 2 tennis balls, it sounds silly. We used to do this all the time. Just take 2 tennis balls, put it in a sock, tie the sock.
Yep.
And then this way you can lay on that and allow your weight to not be so discomforted by something that's not as malleable. Because anything that's closer to the spine, the brain has a more hesitancy in wanting to allow it to relax.
Yeah.
So, we'll find something we can easily use to start help releasing that tension. I can just see like how you're sitting here that
Yeah.
side wants to stay
Yeah.
that.
I was looking at that right now. I was like, look at my right arm. It's like, it looks like it's 3 inches higher than the left arm. And I'm relaxed as can be, like I'm breathing deep. So that's
Nope.
not good, man. But it's
I
been
got-
this way for like 7 years now.
Dude,
Oh,
half the
man.
battle is identifying the problem. Not the problem, the opportunity, as Nick would say, and then we're going to work through it. So now we know we got to start at the top and go all the way down. It's good that you have the rotation in your hips and your lower back, because that would be way harder to work through. So now we can start at the trap, right, with the bar, go with the tennis balls, like Nick's saying, start kind of higher, and like let's try and work that down so it releases.
Here's the cool piece
yeah.
about doing that. Not only will this release and realign, your whole entire back and your hips right now are just slightly tilted up on that side.
Yeah.
Because that it's not just like the traps, you have the whole erector spinae. The fact that the vertebrae are going to be closer together is going to shift the entire alignment. So it'll open up an even greater range of motion for you to be able to flow through your whole body.
Yep.
Yeah.
And Isaiah's swing is you have a pretty pronounced dip into
Yep.
like it's a beautiful like self-taught swing, and you can tell that he figured out the motion on his own, but he generates a ton of power by dipping into it and coming through that way,
Yeah.
which you can tell.
It's all side bend. So like I get some pretty serious numbers just going this way, but it's because I'm not able to go that way. So we were doing these rotation things. If I try to spin to my right, I'm stuck right here.
Yeah. So we're
Even
trying to
just
figure
that
out
little
why.
bit. This is going from I feel it all the way up to my shoulder blade down into my oblique on my right hip. And I've only moved this much.
Yeah.
And that it's flaring right now.
Do you feel anything on the left side below your rib cage when you do that?
Nothing. Nothing at all.
Okay. What about a little bit lower into the hip, like going down that way?
Nothing.
All right.
Like the left side's perfectly fine. If I go just that little bit right there, boom, I'm feeling like spasms down my oblique.
Do you mean right side, Nick, or left?
I'm spinning left to
I'm
right.
saying left side because like I could see when you move that way, the bottom part of like below the ribs wants to lock up because of that.
Yeah, it's like guarding it.
Yeah, exactly. So what happens with the compensation on one side, the body will also do the same on the other. And with depending on the type of rotation, with that going down as you dip, it creates down here where it's taking more of that load. So not that you're not feeling it, which is great because it's not a painful issue. It's more so there's it's masking tightness all throughout from that one thing, and then starting there will release that side, and it'll start to release the entire spine because that side, as I mentioned, is shifted up, which means it pulls the entire inner side that way and up as well. So this will help to release all that tension in the back to allow you to really just rotate in a much more smooth and flow rhythmic pattern that your body wants to be in and is working to get in. The moment we release that tension right there, it'll allow everything to just reset, and you'll be able to really kind of feel how much more unrestriction you have turning in both directions, like top down.
Yeah. So like now that we're on these, I'm going right to left now.
Yeah, you
Yep.
got the rotation the other way.
And I
Yeah.
feel a little bit down at the bottom, like you were talking about, below
Yep.
the rib cage going this way.
Yeah.
But if I'm going from left to right, then
Yeah.
I got no more than that. Yeah.
Yeah. That makes so much sense because like you can turn so much more in that way because one, those muscles are tighter and you're moving into the way that they want to contract. So it's kind of moving into their pattern of tightness and allowing you to get further into that contraction on that side as opposed to the other.
Yeah.
We'll get this fixed. It'd be easy.
Yep.
I'm looking forward to it.
Yep. We eliminated the first thing. Now we can move on to the actual thing, and that's perfect. Cool. Well, we got like 10 minutes. So I wanted to talk, I wanted to bring up something Isaiah said where tell me about what you're talking about when you're trying to unleash on the ball. You say you have like 10 extra miles an hour, but there's just something that's stopping you from making that swing.
Yeah,
Explain it.
it's guarded, right? So I've looked through a lot of footage I've taken of even like my fastest swings. I took a swing not long ago. I hit like 136.5, which is one of the fastest swings I've made in forever. I mean,
Yep.
for 5-6 years I've been stuck at maybe 120, which is stupid. In college, I was easily over 140 if I wanted it. It wasn't hard to get there. But when I am standing over that ball and I tell myself, all right, we're gonna rip into this one, it's almost like there's a signal sent from my brain to the right side to just guard it
Well, I could
and
tell the
protect it.
moment you say we're going to rip into this, I could feel that you don't believe it. I could feel where that inhibition is.
Yeah.
And that's real. Honestly, it's really two things. One, it's your body has to decelerate with the amount of force.
Yeah.
So you can easily flow through that. Your body doesn't want you to in that way right now because more force, more torque, more power generated means more this will have to decelerate and stabilize. So one will work on reframing that, but honestly, I don't even think it has anything to necessarily really do with much of like it's not the mindset. It's more of the physiology of the brain protecting that range of motion right now. Because like based on what you like, I could feel like you can easily get there, but I can feel that your body does not want you to be there right now. And that's okay. That's a great thing. I'll tell you why. Your body's working to protect you from any type of injury.
Right.
Are you injured right now?
Not physically, no.
Okay.
What does that mean? Let's dive into that.
Well, no, it means like mentally he wants to be where he physically know he can be. So I totally understand that. But how fucking awesome is it that your body's not in a place where it has these opportunities, these healing opportunities that are also inhibiting your mind from feeling the confidence and being able to do it.
Exactly.
Your mind's confident. Check. That's fucking awesome.
Yeah.
This is one of the biggest pieces, the confidence coming back from an injury or a healing opportunity. So the fact that there's no injury is fucking huge. So one, right this moment, say thank you, brain and body, for protecting me.
Thanks, brain and body, for protecting me. It's been looking out for the last 7 years. I know it has been. I've explained this to my parents, right? They said, hey, you have every ability to go do this and play. I'm like, yeah, I fucking know I can go do this. That's not the concern. The concern is my body's not letting me do what I know I can do. And I can't figure out what it's been. So working with you guys is helping me get so much further down the path. And I already know as soon as we get this fixed, like it's off to the races. It's not even a question. I'll have a card.
How far are you from Fort Lauderdale, Coral Springs?
45 minutes.
Fuck yeah. I'm gonna put you in touch with my uncle. He's a chiropractor down there, and he will fucking have you fixed yesterday. He's the one who really got me into understanding these different things. The guys, I fucking love him. He's fucking brilliant. All right, I will fucking text him and ask, see like how I can get you guys connected. Because the other thing was like depending on how tight it is, because you mentioned 7 years. So
Yeah.
it's a program, a systemic program that has been not only running, but every time it runs, it is just kind of rewiring and strengthening in its condition.
Yep.
I personally could have get my hands on you to be able to move that stuff. We could get that fixed so quickly.
Yep.
Where I saw your shit. I'm like, oh my God, this might be, this is gonna be fucking perfect. Cause I could just have you go to him. I was gonna say needling would also help too.
Yep.
If you had someone who could do that, but he'll fucking, I will text him after this call and we'll fucking get you in. His name's Dr. Frank Himflin.
Okay.
The guy fucking knows an infinite amount. Well, I mean, it runs in the family. What can we say?
Well, he must
Oh.
listen to the podcast or something.
Dude, have you been listening?
I have. Yeah.
How you like it?
It's good. It's really good. I mean, it speaks to me specifically because you guys are touching base on all the stuff that I've walked through and I'm currently walking through. So it's like every 10 minutes I'm going, yeah, been there, done that, know what that's about. So
Dude, literally, we take things from like our daily life. We had something that we were going to do today, but we might be mindset and healing right again with the episode today, just because of this call right now. It sparks ideas, but like that's how we've been doing it. But one other thing, just to have a plug, because we're videotaping this. You said you went from 120 to 136 point what? And what made you have that change, bud?
I've been stuck at 120, maybe even lower than that since 2017. Obviously, we're in 2024 now, but I've been working with, obviously, it's been you guys, AK Fit Coach, and the Beast Bands program, and also Perfect Hands Golf and this resistance band training. I'd never done that stuff before. I thought it was silly, but when I saw 136.7 club speed in 3 weeks, I was like, might be something to this. So,
dude, and the fact that once we get this trap opportunity figured out, it's going to be
plus
150.
easy. And that you're going to feel the moment this happens, you're going to be like, one, you're going to see a huge jump. Two, that jump, you're going to see this as your actual baseline now moving forward with everything.
Yeah.
Fairway Finder is going to be so fast. You already scare people when you're on the tee, man.
Yeah, I know. I mean, they see me, they're like, what are you?
First tee, you guys are going to walk up, or you guys are going to walk up. You're going to hit your drive, and they're already going to be defeated once they see it. That's the goal. That's the goal of the streak performance stuff, man. When you want like people in like jaw dropping in awe of a easy down the middle fairway drive that they're not touching with 40 yards more.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And there was a time that I did that. I mean, there was in college, this was what, 2014, 2015, I was cruising at a 205 ball speed. So if there was a hole that was 400 yards, I would stand there on the tee box and I'd wait. And the guys would be like, what the hell are you doing? I was like, I'm waiting for them to get off the green. And they're like, what?
Yeah. Nick, to put that in perspective for you, like my swings are, if I'm on a course, my swings are getting me like 197 to maybe 200 if I really catch it in the middle of the face. So 205 is nuts for a golf course. I don't take that 220 swing on a golf course. You know what I mean? It could go anywhere.
Yeah.
So
that was like 205, 210 with a cut. That was almost like a fairway finder. So I could launch that thing like 370 carry.
That's so sick. The amount of people
driver.
The amount of people that I talk to in the industry, like the more that I've gotten connected, thanks to you and Perfect Hands, like the more that I just hear Isaiah is the best golfer I've ever seen. The fact that he's not on tour yet is kicking our ass. So like it's my main fucking goal, dude. We just want to see our people get there, and I can't wait. What's your like tournament schedule look like this year? Are you playing?
I want to play as much as I can, but financially, I got to wait on sponsors and all that. So I'm working with my guy now. I sent a proposal out for the list of tournaments that I want to do to be back in it full time for a year is a little over 90K, which is not a crazy amount, but it's also a crazy amount for someone that coaches a college golf team and all that. So
let's do this. We're going to figure out a way to make it happen. Streak's about to pop off, and you're already helping in such a huge way. We'll figure out a way to contribute something. It's not going to be much. Like, I don't pay myself with Streak yet, but thank God we have some influencers that we're putting their programs in the app here soon. And I know you're constantly working on getting me connections, but like, just keep doing that stuff. And as soon as we have it in, that should be a part of our business model, to be able to just put our logo on your stuff, man, because you're going to be up there. That really doesn't matter.
I like that.
All right, dude. All right, dude. Well, I don't want to take up much more of your time.
I would love to stay on and chat with you to help with a couple of these things right now. As you were talking, I had a couple ideas that I'd like to share that I think can help with a couple of these right now. And then I will get you in touch with my uncle.
Yeah,
Matt canceled, so I'm going to stay on the listen.
Fuck yeah. Okay, cool. So 3 things that I heard that I think there are some opportunities here. One is when you were talking about when you were 2014, when you were sharing that, I could easily see there was a very specific memory you were seeing when you were sharing that, right?
For like ball speed and stuff like that. Oh yeah. You need me to share that?
So yes, in a second. So here's what we're going to do. What I want to try to do, do you have a place you could just lay down flat right now?
Yeah, I've got a carpet.
Perfect. Because what I want to do is try to take you through one of these just simple guided breathing visualization techniques. And I'd like to see how your body responds to it around that memory. I think there's there's a lot of potential there that we can tap into in this now moment. So what we're going to do, I'll talk you through it real quick, is I'm going to have you just lying down, eyes closed, and I want you to focus on deep breath in for 3 to 4 seconds through your nose, fill that chest, and then when you breathe out, just feeling your body sinking down, try to make that breath 4 to 5 seconds, slightly longer than the breath in, and breathe out through your mouth like a straw. All right. What this is going to do physiologically, this breathing pattern tells the brain, the CNS, and the body that you are safe. And when your body is safe, it can release tension. It could start to turn off things that are on. With that visualization, here's a couple cool things about the mind. When you're visualizing that, I could feel how real of a memory that is in terms of like you could still feel everything around that memory, the details, where you were, you could give that right there is a time stamp that we can essentially bring our entire physiology back to. Because the brain doesn't actually know what is real, what's not. It doesn't know what's past, present, or future. It only knows those things in relation to what we say about it and how we relate to them, right? When you're visualizing that, visualization will stimulate the same muscles as if you're physically doing something. Here's a cool thing about a memory is that memory is tied to an experience. That experience is tied to an emotion. That emotion is tied to a whole physiological state within the body. When in that memory right now, how much more fluid did you feel? How much more pain-free? How much more relaxed did your body feel when you could sit there versus how much more force and rotation you could generate freely?
I mean, the comparison between the two it's night and day. I mean, I'd say not only was I moving freely, but the experience itself, standing on the tee box. The hole was a dogleg left par 4. It was 390 yards to the pin. And when I stood over it, I was planning to hit a cut and just tear the skin off the ball. And when I hit this thing, I flew it in the greenside bunker. And the other guys also hit driver on the hole. They were at least, 130 yards out on the hole. It was disgusting. So I remember making a birdie. there, which is great. But I knew standing over that ball that it had nowhere to go but on line with the flag towards the green somewhere, and I was going to be chipping or putting.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Do you tell me you could feel the difference in your body just having told me that?
It feels, I mean, I feel relaxed.
Look in
Certainly.
the camera.
And don't you feel fucking confident? Don't you feel excited? Don't you feel empowered? Don't you feel like all of you is aligned and you had full command, control over everything from thought to execution?
Yes. Like that was essentially, that felt like it's the purpose I was meant to fulfill.
But
That's
I'm getting the
beautiful.
chills over here. We're gonna.
Just
Oh
want to
man,
cut you off real quick. Look in your camera and look at your right shoulder. Look how it sunk down while you were telling us that story.
and we haven't
That's
even.
closer to even. Yeah.
Yeah.
We have. So what I was just saying, we haven't even done like doing that with the breathing.
Mhm.
Oh, I'm super pumped about this. Because I think you're gonna. I'm not gonna say anything else. Let's actually just do it. So
Visualization technique for while you're on the range. Go back to that memory before you start hitting balls.
yeah, and take that memory, feel it. You're gonna feel it now. See yourself as that version of you now, and don't allow any of the current stimuli, external or internal, tell you different. It will at first because that was a while ago, right? And there's other movement patterns that are kind of more active now. We're going to shift that, and exactly what he said is that's going to align the mind, the brain, the body in unison with that same execution. And when you're doing that, see yourself and speak to yourself as that is you now. So when you're going through that, maybe like a couple minutes before you go before you like go out there, right? Or like you get out there a little bit early and just take that time. It sounds silly, but put your bare feet in the grass.
Grounding.
And
Yeah.
yes, for the benefits of the grounding, but another huge one is you will immediately feel what it's like to have your feet in the grass, right?
Mhm.
And you can close your eyes and still feel how awesome that is, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That feeling right before you put your shoes on, then destroy that course, you can immediately go back to at every single hole as you're going up to that next drive. You can feel it still, you can see it. Anything that we can tie an emotion to and a physical feeling will help root us in that moment.
Yeah.
And the more we can cultivate that, it's intentional associations. So we're intentionally associating these with that specific type of memory, but more so that memory is aligned with what you just fucking said, which was so powerful. It was my purpose. Do you know how powerful that is?
Very. Like there, I don't think there's that many people that know exactly what their purpose is or
No,
what's
no, no.
preventing
Aside from
them
the three
from
people on
achieving.
this call. Yeah.
Yeah.
You're saying it, but do you fucking feel that?
Yes. To
Do
my
you
core, I feel that. Do I believe it? Yes.
fuck yeah. Rest in that always, because exactly what you said. How old are you?
28.
And most people go lifetimes without ever being able to discern, discover, or experience or live out their purpose.
Yeah.
And you're fucking doing that now. And you knew that in that moment in 2014.
Mhm.
There will be people who unfortunately will never get to discover or experience what that purpose is right now for them. And
Yep.
that's okay. That's their own journey.
Right.
You fucking know that. That should give you infinite more confidence, belief, and control over your entire experience. When you're aligned with your purpose, literally everything falls into place. Pun
Yeah.
intended when you shoot it.
Right. Yep.
Yeah. All right, let's go through this breathing and visualization and get your body in full alignment and get that physiology reignited within your body.
Mhm. All right. Cool. How am I How am I laying down over here?
Just lying straight down with your arms comfortably by your side and
Mhm.
very just relaxed, neutral. If you have like a pillow or something you could put under your head, this
Yep.
way you can be as fully comfortable as you want. Yeah.
Bet. I'll do that. How do you guys want the camera for it
Wherever
before
you
the
can put it,
sparks
man.
start flying?
Yeah, right. More so just so I can see your chest moving with the breathing. Like honestly, probably so I could see like head through where the elbow is.
So to your side.
Yeah, if that's yeah, on the side facing you this way.
Hmm. Stop suggesting on the go. Yeah, don't suggest that. I'm not on the go. Leave me alone. Ugh.
Gotta love Google, trying to figure out what you're doing at all times.
Yeah, I don't like that. I really don't like that, man. Ugh. That's not cool. Everything's stalking us now.
They're trying to learn how we've stepped into our purpose and power. Can you blame them?
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Right? Does that work for you?
Yes. If possible, can you put me on the other side? I want to see that side more particularly,
Yeah.
if that's possible. Yeah.
That better?
Perfect. Okay. So all I want you to do I'll tell you when to breathe in and when to breathe out. Okay. And I just want you to focus on that moment in time.
We're taking a quick break here during the podcast. We wanted to cut out the part where Nick's actually guiding him through the breathing and everything else during the guided healing technique to save that for Isaiah, because we want to send him the audio file, and it's very personal in terms of what he's visualizing and what Nick's talking him through. So it's not going to be for everybody. But Nick took him through a series, or actually, Nick, you want to describe it really quick?
Yeah, absolutely. So what we did was, as you'll see in the podcast, he had a very specific memory that he immediately went to around when he was playing his best and most fluid and free. And when he had mentioned that memory, I could just see his entire body kind of light up. And I was like, this is the perfect visualization to pair with this guided breathing. And we'll talk about why we did that and the importance of that in the podcast. But that was honestly the best way, and one of the ways that I always try to engage with other people is find those memories and those moments in time where it really just brings out some of the best moments that they've ever experienced. And
Yeah, so he gets to that, and we explain all this after he gets out of it. One thing I did want to bring up is we mentioned the humming pretty much immediately afterwards, and that's something that Nick has you do towards the end of this guided healing technique, and it's really cool, kind of the experience that Isaiah had around it. But I wanted to say that because it's going to come back when we get back to the podcast, and it could be confusing if you didn't know that that's something that he has you do is actually hum when you're breathing.
so quickly, what we did was we do a round with just regular breathing, and then we finish it off with the humming to kind of really close that out. And we'll talk more about that in the podcast.
I can't wait for you guys to see the results.
Was
How
I
are
supposed
you?
to want to take a nap?
How are you feeling?
Calm. Maybe like there's a tingling sensation from like head to toe.
Good. That's the oxygenation really enhancing and really getting into all of the cells. It's amazing.
I feel like a pinching in the back of my right shoulder blade
So that's
in
good.
like one specific spot. It's not like the whole area. It's one little tiny spot.
Beautiful, right? So that right there. That's the spot that it has originated.
Mm-hmm.
So usually it takes so for her it was easy to kind of release this because it was more of an acute experience. So it was really easy to kind of erase that entire experience. But to basically have taken and released as much of that as possible to now have found that pain point is huge. We have the video of this, which is going to be fucking awesome for you to see.
Mm.
The first time, let's see if I can try to show you. So the first time you were facing this way,
Mhm.
this is as far as your head could get. The second time, you were fucking in here.
Yeah, I felt that. And then on the left side too, like I felt stuck here, and then it was
Yeah.
all the way.
Night
Yeah.
and day.
That's huge. And so that's awesome that now let's celebrate the fact that like that pinching is awesome in the sense that we've taken away everything else to have found really that origin point of where this kind of started to emanate. And the same thing, we'll send you this call and you can listen to this again tonight as you're going to bed. And which will be great because then you'll actually really be able to sleep and allow your whole body to start to reset. And when you wake up tomorrow, you'll feel even better. And I'll definitely put you in touch with my uncle so he can get your whole body fixed up.
What do you have to say about the tones of the hum changed?
So what that says is, did it get deeper?
It started to, but when I first went to the right side, it was higher.
Yeah, because it's tighter. And
Yeah.
then, so as it releases, it allows it to get deeper because there's more of an ability. So when something's tight, there's not much movement, right?
Higher frequency. Yeah.
Yep.
Think
So
of
when
guitar strings.
yeah, it allows for more fluid motion. It allows it to like literally oscillate more to allow for that deeper tone. And that deeper tone will help to actually deeper the tone, the more that you're actually like permeating more and more of the muscles of the cells in that area. All of them are feeling it, but the way in which they can resonate with the feeling is based on how tight or loose, on or off they are. So that is awesome. That's amazing that you are aware of that difference in just the tonality, is now you have this audible way of being able to assess your progress as you're implementing this, whether it's just now or anytime you ever want. You can even use it to check in to see how your body is feeling and how maybe how tight your neck or shoulders could be without necessarily knowing it. And simple thing that you could do before you go to sleep to almost like help the entire body reset. And the biggest reason why I wanted you to immerse yourself in that memory, as many of the details as possible, is it makes it more real. And anytime now, here's another fun thing we can start to do is taking that same visualization with the breathing, doing it, we can make it as simple as doing 3 deep breaths neutral, 3 on this side, 3 on that side, repeat with the humming, and always finish back at neutral with the last 3 breaths. So next time when you even do this tonight, when you do this tonight, if you feel it, for that first round with no humming, use that as your memory then. And then when you go through the next round with the humming, take that and put that in the moment in time that you ultimately want to fulfill and execute this goal and this dream. So write that, what is the end goal right now with these tournaments and stuff? What is your highest goal right now that you are working towards?
Mine is to secure a card, either PGA Tour or Corn Ferry Tour or Live. I want to play golf for a living.
Beautiful. Now, is there one event in particular like when you crush that event, right, that gets you that next level of access to those other tours?
I mean, there's different qualifiers and stuff I can do to make
How
it in.
how many qualified is it just one qualifier that you would need? Is it a couple?
It's all based on status, right? So across the season, there's roughly 35 qualifiers, individual events. If you play well enough, you make it through, and then you have to play 2 more rounds and play well to make the cut within the tournament itself. So it's essentially 3 qualifying rounds wrapped into one.
Beautiful. All right, beautiful. That's what I wanted to hear this way. I want to take you to the very end of that journey. So
Mhm.
that last we'll go to that very last hole.
Mhm.
And you know, in crushing this hole, you've qualified. So now that next round with the humming, I want you to see yourself there. See yourself hitting it exactly how you want, and feel how amazing it is when you put the ball in there and you fucking get that qualification to open up this whole new world for you. And what we're going to do, because this is pretty cool, quantum physics, and with no difference between past, present, and future, it's all interconnected. We're taking a past moment in time, bringing it to the present.
Mhm.
We're taking a future moment in time and literally physically resonating with the entire body. And the coolest piece about this is, as you play with this, you're going to have a very specific visualization for both, especially that second round. It's going to blow your fucking mind when when you are there and you hit it is everything you saw it to be, because that moment already exists and it's just waiting for you to experience it. And
Mhm.
all we're doing is aligning ourselves with that potentiality, and our brain is taking that image, and it's like, now we know every single thing that we get to do to allow that to unfold for us,
Mhm.
and everything else in the middle. So that end goal, right? That also, here's why I wanted to really focus on what that was, because you had mentioned the financial goal of being able to get, I think it was like around 90K to be able to do all of that, right?
Yeah.
That end goal, law of assumption, includes all of this. It
Yeah.
includes all of the sponsorships, the money, the physiological experience. It includes all of it in that one moment. Is so perfect. You don't have to think about all of this stuff. It's already assumed and executed.
Yeah.
Oh, it's gonna be fun.
It's exciting.
Look at your. It
He's
look.
completely, yeah. He's completely even.
That's fucking amazing. That's awesome. You see how does your shoulder and arm feel? Just kind of like moving it through a nice, fluid, slow, relaxed range of motion. Just kind of feel. Is it better?
There's some clicking and tension when I get to that point there. I feel a big squeeze in the
Good.
trap area when I'm going that way. But for me, the concern with the swing, the opportunity with the swing was as I was going through impact, the arm's not fully extending and releasing on the right side. It's bending and staying right here, which
Okay.
is causing that side bend to move. It's not a proper release and extension.
You want to know something funny about this?
And
There was zero hesitancy, zero restriction at any point. You were just moving your arm.
that's the confusing part for me. The brain body disconnect.
Well, no. Now it's reconnecting. So before, you told me you didn't even want to get into these positions to show us. Do you
Mm,
remember that?
yeah.
You went like this, and I saw the look on your face was, your brain was like, the fuck? Whoa. Back to here. Whoa. This is also why I like to do these things with the eyes closed.
Mhm.
Because with the eyes closed, your brain can't see the external stimuli to reassociate what it knows.
Right.
You know? Another visualization technique is, this is always fun with individuals who've had like shoulder surgery, or like a frozen shoulder or whatever, is to have them moving the arm that feels comfortable and fine, right? Close your eyes and then move that through the range of motion, but visualize as if you're moving both, because the
Both
cool,
arms.
yeah, but only move the one side. And then when you do it after, and then you with the eyes closed, and then you move both, and you open your eyes, and you're just like, holy fuck. because it's you're basically the brain, because you don't have any like you can see your arm moving this way, so you're like your brain sees it, it's like, all right, we're stopping so we can protect it, but
Mhm.
it doesn't it the spatial awareness it thinks it's in one place, but you're actually accessing a range of motion in accordance to both the other side and in a moment in time in which you can actually move freely.
Hmm.
The crossover education effect of being able to train one side and receive physiological benefits to the other, it's essentially kind of pretty similarly connected to that. It's a huge role in it, but that I, I was more so celebrating how fluidly, unrestrictedly, and without no fucking thought, no hesitation, you immediately showed me the range of motion you have now.
Yeah,
That is huge.
it's there. I mean, like the range of motion is there. I believe that I can do it. However,
Don't
when I
say but.
stand, I didn't say.
You were thinking about
However,
it.
however,
No, however is another but. No, however.
when I stand over the ball, why would it seem to generate a potential disconnect?
Easy, because exactly what you just said. When I stand over the ball, you reframe that very well. But the way that came out, there's a very specific thought process and a pattern from just past experiences that is just ingrained right now.
Yeah, a
So,
disbelief that it's actually going to do what I want it to do. Essentially,
yeah,
yeah,
and that's only from the physical limitation of having that muscle just being in a compensatory perspective of just protecting you.
yeah,
So you're confident here. You're confident here. It's the body is confident. It just needs to release an old pattern
yeah,
that at some point was active to protect you from
yeah.
something. That's all that is. And so every time we'll just work on reframing and reconnecting what we know and here to be true to everything else is when I'm over the ball, I am always in the perfect position that is best for me. I feel confident. I move confidently. I can move fluidly with full confidence and no restriction. Find just basically when you think, anytime you have this thought about, it's an old thought that comes in, right? Because the way that you said that was so fluidly came right out.
Yeah.
So every time you know that thought is going to come back in because it's part of the process right now.
Mhm.
And here's the cool piece. Because it's part of the process, we can actually edit the process in real time. So every time right now that you can, whenever that thought comes across your mind, you're aware of it. Just take that moment to reset and just be like, I now command my body to get in alignment. We're gonna crush this. I feel amazing. I feel confident. My body is exactly what, how, and who it needs to be right now to be able to execute everything I know I can. Give it very specific commands. Right now, your body is commanding your brain. That's why there's the disconnect.
Mhm.
We just got to take that input and be like, hey, listen, body, I fucking run the show. I appreciate everything you've done, but let's be honest, I'm pretty fucking great. I'm not hurt. We don't need this. This helped me then. Great, thank you. But we don't need it anymore. We're ready to fucking do what we know we can.
Nick, what were you telling him to say to himself once again? And I want him to say it. We can clip that audio so he can put it in his ears while he's taking swings.
Let me think about which one I said.
You said like a couple, and
Yeah.
we can clip what you said and have him send it to us too, or he can record it in a note. But it's good to listen to that sort of thing. So because it's hard to think about while you're doing it, but if you have your own voice saying it back to you while you're doing it, it makes you think in first person that thought Just put it on a loop while you're hitting balls, while you're working out, while you're doing everything that you want to do to fix stuff. And it'll naturally take its train of course.
Yeah, a fun thing you could do is like it's called like scripting, right? Is first like write out in present tense like how amazing your body feels, how amazing it moves. Basically, you can write anything you want to experience now, right? Like my body feels amazing, it moves amazingly. I'm always finding and hitting the ball exactly how I want. My body and my mind and my mind, body, and heart are always in a line. So getting the brain, your brain and the heart are in coherence, which is great. We just got to get this coherence resonating everywhere else. So take that, write it out, play
As
around with it.
as it's already happened.
Yes.
Write it out as it's already happened.
And then record yourself saying it and read it over and over and over out loud. And when you do it, try to even allow yourself to express some emotion, because as he said, when your brain hears you, your brain only knows anything in relation to itself. Like for your brain, like you know, we're different people. Your brain is like, oh, these are versions of me. How am I interacting with me right now?
Mhm.
Oh, I'm hearing this. The brain's hearing this. Is itself. Because it only knows itself. It only processes anything and everything as itself. So when you're speaking, also why I like the humming is your hum is its own unique, authentic, expressive frequency that resonates with every part of your being, your cell.
Mhm.
That is, it is so powerfully you in a very relaxed and empowered state, which is why I wanted you to also hum, because there's just so many amazing benefits to it. But your ears, your brain is hearing you orchestrating everything, which is why I was allowing yourself to get into that state so relaxed, so effortlessly. Like, I think it was maybe like maybe a 20-30 minute, like experience that really drastically changed your physiology.
Mhm.
Do you know people fucking go to the very end of their deathbed wishing, praying, hoping, and paying for shit to change their physiology to prevent that? You did that 30 minutes by yourself, breathing, visualizing, and humming.
Yep.
That's fucking
Unbelievable.
amazing. You mean it's believable?
Yes, it is. Seeing is believing. Experiencing is believing.
Oh yeah.
Amen.
Incredible.
You are in fucking
Incredible.
incredible. You did all that shit. Fucking don't downplay you. I didn't do shit. I just guided you into the ability to be able to understand it and do it for yourself. I wasn't breathing for you. I wasn't humming for you. I wasn't visualizing your thought. That wasn't me. That was all you.
Unreal. Would it help to incorporate other past positive memories from the game?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
The
Because
more we can bundle from the past into the present that's positive.
yeah, everything, it's almost like taking inventory of those moments, because uh think of it as like think of every single time you've ever swung the ball is a recallable, executable action. It's stored in a file in the brain. So basically by doing that, what you're doing is we're telling the brain, these are the files we want to play. These files are no longer necessary. We don't need them. Thank you, grateful, but we don't need them anymore. Those uh, I'll use the human term of imperfect strikes or whatever. Um, those all led to you being able to execute exactly how you. So I always tell my athletes is every 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 shot you miss is just one more rep closer to that perfect shot you want to that you're working towards.
Yep.
Because the moment you hit it instantly, whether knowing or unknowing, but most of the time at this level with your intuitive nature, you know immediately what went wrong or what you could do to fix that. That is your brain telling your entire body what it needs to do the next time. It is now recalibrating. The best thing to do is the moment you judge it, like, fuck, I should have done that. What the fuck was I thinking? Guess what? You've made that so much more real, and you're stuck there now, and you're pulling that to the present because there's an emotional experience behind it, which makes it real. And now when you go up to that, because we've all had this experience, because now you're second guessing your thoughts going up to that, like, fuck, nah, that was my original plan. This was the plan I wanted to execute, but it's not. Like, now I got to try to figure something out based on what I had done, and you're not even seeing like, hey, maybe your brain saw something you didn't and was like, yo, I'm gonna fucking put this here because you might have based on the fucking catalog of amazing shots we've ever taken, you could fucking nail this better than you think.
Yeah.
Instead of seeing the opportunities that are there, you might get stuck here and it literally kind of carry that with you. And now you're kind of almost projecting that into the future shots because like now you're trying to fix this based on what didn't happen.
Yeah.
Instead of being like, okay, no problem. This is just where I'm at now. All right, where I'm at now, there's an opportunity for me to hit this exactly where I want it.
Yeah.
And here's a fucking cool piece. You're adding more tools to your tool belt because now you're in a different position trying to hit hit that shot from a different spot that you wouldn't have intentionally been. So now you're adding more more awareness, more opportunities, more information for your brain and your body to hit whatever shots, no matter wherever you end up on any course at any point in time. You're basically just building more of a wealth of tools, if you will. Think of it this way. When you hit that perfect shot, did you learn anything?
Not as much. Now, in fact, my practice, mostly as a child and through college, was to hit the ball intentionally into places where I wouldn't generally be. So, like the course we grew up playing, where I'd see Cody and all them at, I would literally hit the ball into the trees on purpose because I thought it was more fun to be creative and hit it from there. Because I knew in a tournament, I'd be hitting it where I wanted to on purpose, which was the fairway. So now, as we've approached pro golf and we play that, if I'm in the middle of the tournament, I'll be fine from tee to green, most likely. But
Nope. Get rid of most likely. That's doubt based on what you. Nope. Not fucking most likely. You definitely fucking know. You just told me you intentionally put the ball everywhere it shouldn't be just so you could have fun, getting creative, being able to execute something new and learn.
right, but from the past. I'm describing the past. As we move to the present, I'm describing the past in prior events that I've
I know.
played.
I'm speaking to the brain now because it's feeling the past now. That's why
Right.
I'm infinitely intentional with everything that I say. So like that's why I wanted to stop that program from playing out so it didn't, because I knew you knew that consciously, but you're not feeling that now. But now you are. Now you are.
Right.
Fuck
So
yeah.
imagine being in an event and doing everything correctly, putting myself in the proper positions, but knowing subconsciously that a negative outcome was imminent due to a limitation of the body, something preventing me from doing what I knew I was supposed to be doing. So I can specifically envision years of wedge play for us, which is shorter shots, having 100 yards or less, that has always been my bread and butter. I would hit 10 out of 12 shots in a round of golf inside of 6 feet and make a ridiculous number of birdies. In the past 5 years, I put myself in position A and be standing there and just licking my chops the whole time walking up to it, going, I'm going to make a birdie. This is going to happen. Like, I couldn't be in a better spot for this and stand over the ball. And then suddenly and that ball's not going where you think it's going. And I'm going, what the hell? Why is there this disconnect between here and the body? Why are you guys not agreeing right now? What's the deal? And then proceed to hit the shot again and again. The specific shot would be directly at the pin and moving hard left to right. And I end up with 30 feet or miss the green. And it's just hit that shot, negative feedback there, get up to the green, frustrated with the result, and looking back going, how can you set yourself up so perfectly for this? And this is your result. So just continual negative feedback loops. And when you do that for 4 years straight and don't see much headway, you say, all right, I'm packing it in. So I've already intentionally taken 2 years off of playing full time. Like, didn't touch a golf club. Just said there needs to be some break here. And then desire to go back into the game itself. Pick up the clubs and go out and shoot a 62 the next day and go, I'm designed to do this. Why am I not doing this?
People can't do that, man. You have such a natural talent and ability that your whole thing should be, don't let yourself hit the ball without having just a positive thought, or don't let yourself hit a putt don't think about this moves from right to left. Think about this is going in the hole. That should be your last thought every single time. Don't think about the break, because your brain just hears left. So you're going to miss that low side.
It takes the last input.
Yep,
first.
always.
Always.
Timestamp.
Timestamp. So I want to clip. So everything you just said, that first part of that statement, I want to clip that, and I only want you to listen to that. That was your authentic expression of how empowered I am in that moment of being able to execute. That before you had shared like how that would there ended up being a disconnect and stuff. Like I heard that on a much higher frequency, and we'll find that, we'll clip it, and just so that, and we'll put that shit on repeat. And oh my God, it's gonna fucking light your world up with how quickly it just, not only, it's not gonna, just because it resonates with you because it's you, it's your highest form of expression. That is the highest form of frequency. You put that on a loop, that will easily get rid of everything here. It's so very quickly. And I wanted to also point this out. You mentioned wanting to, like, taking those 2 years off. And then you mentioned coming back with a desire.
Yeah.
You would never have had that desire or this awareness, this understanding, this passion, these feelings, if it wasn't for having taken that time off. Because it allowed you to reset. It allowed you to explore other potentials.
Yeah.
See how that related and resonated with you. To now be able to know that there is zero doubt now that this is your path, this is your purpose, this is what you are meant to, design for. Everything. There's every single piece of you is on that same page. I cannot tell you, I cannot explain. I'm getting the chills. How fucking amazingly powerful and profound that statement, that proclamation, that declaration, that feeling is. Those 2 years fucking put you 22 years forward, if you will. Honestly, definitely more, but
on the mental side, definitely.
Yeah. And like the mental and emotional, you are emotionally invested in everything you're doing. You're mentally, emotionally, we were in coherence. You're on the same page. That most people never get that separation connected. Right. And not only is it connected, it is there is no doubt that connection is so strong. All of you is resonating it and feeling that, which is why you're feeling frustrated as to not being able to quote unquote execute the way you know how, because every fucking part of you knows where you are going and growing. And it's just right now, it's just a small thing.
Yep.
This is just an opportunity that has been protecting you from something at some point in time, and it served its purpose, but it's just been there. It's like, bro, I want to be a part of this party too. And you're like, well, you
Yeah.
can. You don't need to be acting a fool to do it.
Yeah.
Like, come join the party with all of us having fun and aligned, and not, we don't need that protection anymore. And that's basically everything we're doing right now, is just to get your body where your mind, brain, and heart already are.
Yep.
And you're beyond well on the way. Like, in this hour and a half, I can't even tell you how much amazing mental, emotional, physical growth, transcendence, and change has already happened.
Yeah.
Don't you feel it?
This is the last piece. I know without a doubt this small part right here that's acting a fool.
Oh.
This is the last piece of the puzzle. I already know. The work is there, the talent's there, the gift is there. This is the direction I know I'm supposed to go. Whether there's money involved or not, the talent that I already have would carry me from point A to point B, which is
Boom.
achieving the goal. The talent's already there. It's just fixing that. Once that's fixed, like, we're there.
You'll be in touch with my uncle. The moment I get off the call here, I will catch up with him, and I'll get your information from Alex. I'll get his info, and I will get you guys connected. And by next week, you're already a new person. So, I mean, it's just only gonna continue. I'm stoked for you. It's gonna be so quick and easy. It's gonna blow your mind with how free you're gonna feel, gonna move, and you're gonna blow your own mind, as well as many others, with the numbers you are able to execute in the way that you want to, know you can, and feel you are able to execute.
Yeah.
It's all happening for you now. I'm pumped for you. I'm pumped. Let's fucking go.
It's gonna be crazy. Everything's about to blow up. The world's gonna burn.
Because of all that heat from the swing, you're gonna start a fire from the.
Exactly. Mm-hmm.
I fucking love it. I love it.
That's awesome. I appreciate it. It's been a heck of an experience so far. I still feel that pinpoint though. Like, as we sit here and talk, that one particular spot is just more and more aggravated by this conversation.
Because it knows its time is limited. And like,
Yep.
bruh. Like, all right, look, if you got to do, and here's another, and this is, you can use a little hack for anything, is anytime you feel it, immediately say, I'm healing.
Yeah.
Because your body is always infinitely so in a state of healing. To say, I am hurt or I am sick, takes a moment in time, gives the instruction to the body to play that program. And the reason you're feeling it more and more is because it's been years since you've had that amount of oxygen, blood flow, and electrical conductivity from the brain to that part. So no, you're gonna feel a lot more, as you should, right? What's the saying? Is like, things will feel or get worse before they get better.
Always.
You're feeling those muscles in a way you haven't felt in so long. So it's almost like it's gonna almost like it's gonna take that pain and kind of really bring it to the forefront, only because now it's healing. And there's more messaging, more neural conductivity that it's now connected. So you're getting the feedback that's been there for a while. And you're like, this motherfucker's been doing this the whole time. Like, get out of here.
Yeah.
Just say, oh, yeah, thank you, body. I know you're doing your best. I know you're healing every time.
Yeah.
And anytime you feel like you might be, you can use this with, like, if you're getting sick, you're sick. My body's always healing. My body's always healing. My body's always healing. Anytime you feel it, because now you're going to create an intentional associative feedback loop that right now you'll do it consciously, But the coolest piece is your brain will feel something and immediately it'll trigger that program.
Right.
And you don't even have to think about it anymore.
Yeah.
You'll get to a point you're like, I don't even remember the last time I had to deal with that or experience that.
Yeah.
And that's when you know that program is fully set in.
Yeah.
That's going to come quickly.
Everything happens fast, whether it's, with playing, with being coached, or any of this stuff. I learn it at such a fast pace. I can't believe myself sometimes.
Start fucking believing yourself, because the moment you
Yeah.
do, you're going to fucking, it's going to accelerate that even more.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm pumped. This has been so fun.
I've enjoyed it.
Good. I'm so glad.
Seriously, this has been, like Cody, he expressed, this would be a mind-blowing experience. Yeah. Yeah. That's pretty cool, man. That's pretty cool.
I'm grateful to play a part in your journey.
For sure. For sure. It takes a team to make all
Amen.
this stuff happen. It takes a team, man. Got to all climb together and do it.
People might not know yet, but we're going to have the best team in all sports.
We already do.
I know.
And they don't even know what's about to happen. By the time they realize it, we'll have already taken over, and they'll be wanting to experience what we are.
Hell yeah.
Agreed.
All right, dude. That's a ton of stuff to work on this week. We're going to cut this up for you in all the different ways that we said it. I'll try and cut up what Nick said for you to repeat to yourself. We'll cut up the other thing. We'll put it in an audio file just so you can put it on your iPod and loop it. iPod. Put it in the iPod inside of your phone and loop it. Yeah.
The old iPod shuffle with those old ones.
Yeah.
The little guy, the magic box.
Yeah. But nah, man, have a killer rest of your day. I know Nick's probably got to jump. And then I got a call too that I got to get on to. So you're the fucking man. Keep it up. I can't wait to see where this hour and a half takes us.
Yeah, man. It's gonna be sweet. Let's go.
Yeah, baby. Let's go. Have an amazing fucking day. I know you will.
You too, boys. We'll see y'all later, right?
LFG.
6 hours later.
Now I can. There it is.
Yeah, dude. I said you look swaggy in that outfit, dude.
Thanks, dude. I appreciate it.
I wanted to I just want to get you on the call because of the message you sent. So you played today after our call earlier.
Yeah.
That took you 9 holes to learn that I could move more freely. And I wanted to dive into that or just hear what you had to say about that.
Yeah. So obviously we chatted this morning about the disconnect between brain and body and how there was just such a small impingement on that right side. We discussed my shoulders initially were not level, just sitting comfortably at the table. So it was clear that on the right side there was a lot of tension being carried in the trap and then also down into the shoulder blades. So we walked through some breathing exercises. I did take your advice with the tennis ball and then a lacrosse ball. I rolled out that area, got into the trap, and then we step out on the course today and the wind was blowing 35, right?
Oh,
and so on the end of the wind holes, not only was I hitting further than I ever have, but on some of the downwind holes, I think I hit 405 today. But my body hasn't moved like that in 7 years. So the first swing I took, it felt so easy for me to make a full and complete backswing, just the rotation in the backswing motion. For the past 7 years, I've had to do everything to just fight to get that club to move from point A to point B, which is the top of the backswing. So the first time it did it, I was like, oh, that's going to be an adjustment. So we played that first hole, did great there. Same kind of feeling on the next hole, but I hit an 8-iron that went 215. And I was like,
boy, that's ridiculous.
Yeah, it's
Did
almost
I
too
not
much.
Did I not say this was going to unlock a whole new level that you're seeing? That's your baseline. That's
Right.
where you really are. And everything is just going to continue to go and grow from there.
Right. I think the hardest part has just been trying to understand where the apprehension has been, what's really been holding me back. And when you get to the course and you work so hard and you pour your life and your soul and everything you got into chasing this game, you need to be confident, not just in your body, but also in your mind. So when I'm approaching a round of golf or practice and I'm confident in my mind, but my body's not letting me do what I need to do, there's no way you can be successful at that. I mean, at least not long term, and you certainly won't find success in a consistent way. So for my body to start moving how it's wanted to for the first time in 7 years, it's just ridiculous. I mean, I can't believe it. So we're on the right path, and that just gives me more and more confidence to say when I'm on the course, if I feel that side start to tighten up, I can now go, okay, this really isn't that big of a deal. I know what you're trying to tell me now, body, but we're good, right? Like we've addressed the root of this injury and we're only going to get better from here. So
You're
think
so much smarter than everybody else, man. The amount of time that it takes for people to just give in and just understand that,
yeah,
it's incredible.
Yeah. I mean,
I
I'm just
want
going
to I want to highlight this. When did we get off that call?
we got off the call right around 12 o'clock, 12:30 ish. And I had a tee time at 3. So I just immediately took all of it and went and played. I think I shot 7 under on the back 9.
Ooh, boy, let's go.
I really want you to just immerse yourself in how amazing this progress that you've made today is. Like,
yeah,
from in 6 hours, give or take, right?
Roughly. Yeah.
That is so incredible. That is so amazing. That pumps me up so much for you.
Yeah.
Let's fucking go.
I mean, and the scary part is there's probably 1,000 other guys that could hear this and be in that same situation where they lifted or they tweak something and they have just the smallest of little impingements that's causing, a mental and physical disconnect. And you guys have the answer to solving that. So they're only going to find it in one place. I'm going to tell them where to go. So, or actually, I might not do it because it might take paychecks for me, but
it'll not. It won't. Believe me, you are in a league on your, like, you haven't even stepped into that full version of yourself yet. Like, you tell me now, your eyes are opening up to possibilities you didn't even think were possible for you right now.
Also, you already have a head start on them. You've been with us for a while now.
Yeah, I do have a head start.
Your awareness gives you far more power and more opportunity.
We work with plenty of people that aren't as receptive and open-minded as you've been today. Yeah. And just showing how far that can take you. As soon as Nick started talking, you immediately were just like, you were a student of what he was trying to say and you accepted everything immediately. And to have that ability and coachability is something other people don't possess. You're in a league of your own.
Yeah. No, you have to keep an open mind with everything, right? Like in this industry, especially, I've learned whether it's equipment or it's working out or meditation, your breathing patterns, leave no stone unturned because you have no idea what you're capable of until you've turned over every stone in that field that you're working on. So to see the fruits of just being open-minded for a couple hours it's pretty incredible. I mean, to be honest, I'll say I entered into it with maybe just a little bit of skepticism, but I'm quick to let it go if I believe that this is something that will take me to a next level. So I'm not one that wants to stand in his own way. My body's been in my own way for the past 7 years. So for it to start getting out of the way finally is like, just taking such a huge weight off of me. And I'd say even though it was windy, I've never played more relaxed in an environment like that. Typically, that would be the most stressful environment I could ever play in, which is 30-mile-an-hour wind gusts. And I shot probably 8 under, 9 under easily. And I don't even feel like I scratched the surface.
Let's go, dude. And all the stuff that we went through earlier, I'm clipping all the audio. So we're working on going through it now. It's an hour and 40 minutes. So like we're going through it now. Our girls about to play hockey. So like we got to take a break from 7 to like 9:30, but we'll have it to you in the morning. We're not sleeping tonight. We're so freaking fired up about today.
And the best part of all of that, I think, remember I was telling you about in the past, all of those wedge shots that just would end up not so close. Every wedge I hit today was within 15 feet. And I've fought to accomplish that for 5-6 years at this point.
Let's go, dude.
Amazing.
Let's fucking go.
I mean,
pumps me up.
That ball striking I saw today is close to getting me where I was in high school when I was shooting in the 50s for 18 holes.
You're back.
It's coming.
You never
It's
left.
there.
We were talking about the brain and the heart. They're in coherence. It was just getting the
Right.
body on the same page.
Yep.
Now you've got the Trinity's there.
Yep.
It is all aligned and only going to continue to align even more for you.
Yep.
Yep.
And you've got us every Wednesday morning. So now, next time, like, let's try not right now, obviously. Thanks for getting on. Next time, don't be in the car so we can make sure that we can go through that kind of stuff.
Right.
So if we need to move it around your schedule, your coaching schedule, we'll make it a time that you're home so we can do this stuff and work through things, because it'll continue to get better over time. We just have to keep working on it over time.
Right. Yeah. I mean, doing the breathing exercises, doing some of the stretching. I mean, I can already feel on the right side. Normally that trap is like always pissed off. I mean, I can press on it now and it doesn't even hurt, which I mean,
you're completely even right now.
Let's go.
Yeah. I haven't been that way in
after
so
golf.
long.
After golf too.
A quick question around that. You mentioned that one spot that you started to notice a lot more after most of that released. How is it feeling now?
I don't feel it at the moment. I mean, I feel a little bit like this.
Don't go looking for it. Don't go looking for it. But that's freaking awesome.
You don't feel it. Leave it there. You don't feel it.
Let's go. See,
don't feel it
because that was the first time it was getting all of the blood flow, the oxygenation, and everything. And now it's there. Now it's
just heal.
Boom. What did you say?
It's gonna heal. It's gonna just get better now. Like there's no going back at this point.
Hell fucking yeah.
Man.
That's my guy, dude. I told you 10 minutes. It's been 10 minutes. I don't want to take you more of your time, but we are so fucking fired up. And we appreciate you letting us use this. This is the next episode of the podcast. So thanks for being guest number 2, dude.
Yeah.
You're going to be an all-star.
Yeah. If you guys need more, let me know. If you need more, let me know. I'm happy to do it.
Hell yeah, man. I appreciate it, man. Drive safe.
For sure. Will do.
Thank you guys so much for tuning into this episode of the podcast. This conversation with Isaiah took our day and his to the absolute next level. This is why we do it. And this is the kind of stuff that we do behind the scenes, and being able to share it with everybody so you know what we're talking about when we talk in the podcast is incredibly important to us. I hope you have a fantastic rest of your day, and LFG, you beasts.
Let's go.